Hello, this is Paloma. I come back with the story the sky is telling for the next few days. Took me some time to come and do this recording this time. I was a little under the weather. I've been feeling sort of the tiredness, I suppose, from everything. And I was thinking about this revolutionary energy of the last full moon. We talked about it, full moon in Tauro conjunct Urano, and with its high voltage surprises, revelations, and epiphanies. Maybe you can tell me how that went for you. Now approaching the last quarter moon, precisely in a moment of maybe reflection, I was thinking about the importance of rest. You know, how resting in this world is actually a revolutionary act, and that perhaps just going slower and being more embodied and present for ourselves, our bodies, for the earth, and for each other opens the possibility of regeneration. And also just wanted to say before I go into the big subject, which is of course Pluto in Aquarius, that however it is that you are going through all of these thresholds, it's okay. You're right on time. No, because we are doing the best we can. You are doing the best you can within the capacity that you are manifesting today. And capacity does not define us. And capacity widens, and we tone it, and we work to expand precisely all of the room inside of us in every possible layer of ourselves, so we can hold more of these sensations and even thoughts, emotions. You know, I'm mentioning this because when I peek into the energy of 2025, it's a very exciting energy, but it's not quiet at all. It's exhilarating. And I think we're gonna need to cultivate resilience. And resilience, it's actually built through going slower, and with such love and compassion and presence, allowing our capacity to expand. So that is the maturation also of Saturn in Pisces, now moving direct, inviting us to take care of our energy, take care of our gifts, our spiritual gifts, and to have the responsibility that brings clarity to our boundaries, and also to choose wisely with whom and with what we commit our energy, so we can actually be efficient, which really just means no less and no more than what is needed. That way we can start really paving the foundations of the bringing into the tangible, consolidating the dream, the new collective dream and personal dream. And perhaps you already have the sensations, maybe the glimpses of it, even if you can't quite name it or see it clearly, because that's very much the feeling right now. Maybe you've had already torrents of information from the future, because the future is here and now. Time is more malleable than ever. So the big news is that Pluto entered Aquarius on the 19th of November, this time to stay there until 2043-44. So this is a planet of metamorphosis, death, rebirth, power, and now he's going to be doing his labor in the school of consciousness, the school of awareness. So the revolution is official. I feel like I've been talking of Pluto in Aquarius for a while now, because he's been, you know, stepping in and out of Aquarius, but now, and every astrologer, we've been talking about it, no? But now he's really staying there. And we know, well, Aquarius is a school that is ruled, the modern ruler is Urano, and the traditional ruler is Saturn. And I find this a very interesting combination. We just had that full moon I was mentioning at the beginning, where we had this very strong Uranian energy and also very strong Saturnian energy. And I find that interesting because these are both energies that we are going to be working and sort of understanding and incorporating differently. Now, I think in a higher octave of consciousness, precisely. Because there is, you know, freedom, change, revolution with Urano, and then there's responsibility, discipline, boundaries, effort with Saturn, everything oriented to the collective, the community, the humanity, because Aquarius, and also with the flavor of innovation, of vision, of maybe even oracular energy, because Aquarius for us is the school that prays the future, and also builds it, right? So there isn't a more paradoxical sign than Aquarius, and the universe is filled with paradox. And the actual meaning of the word, at least I looked it up in Spanish, and it's contrary to the common opinion. So that very well could be a definition of Aquarius, right? Okay, so what can we expect? The unexpected. On the one hand, if we look at it from the Uranian energy, which is about surprises and about disrupting patterns, so we can actually jump into evolution. And there's also the Saturn facet, I think, which is about individual responsibility in relation to how we affect and how we participate in the history that we are weaving together, no, in the collective. So this is just the beginning. We're going to be talking about this for many, many years, because it's nearly 20 years. We're going to be questioning and doing reflection and inquiring for a long period. So frankly, I think this is the official entering the era of air. And that changes a lot of our experience, because it makes it go a lot faster. The air has no borders. There isn't the density of the earth in these elements. So I think that's going to give us and we're going to start feeling some lightness, I suppose, in its shadow and in its light. So in the Pluto in Aquarius subjects, I think we're gonna be truly deeply questioning what consciousness is, its nature, its the reach of consciousness and the power of consciousness. I think in terms of us, there is an expansion of our frequency. We've been going through this already in 2024, but this becomes a bit more evident now. And also this very strong fracture I see in our belief systems. Through that fracture, we're gonna get a very strong input of information that will probably challenge everything we understood as reality and how we participate in the creation of reality itself. Of course, there's going to be the subject of the science, the medical science. I think all of these, breakthroughs are going to be truly impressive. This is one of the first things that Pluto showed us last year, the AI, artificial intelligence, and everything that opens up in its potential, both in light and shadow, because we have ahead of us some pretty intense ethical discussions, and I see several divergent timelines. You see, there is one towards this creation of a virtual and artificial reality where we could get disconnected of life, or disconnected from that which has a heartbeat, right? Because that's part of the shadow of Aquarius. It's a disconnection. There is such a detachment. It gets very extreme that instead of uniting as community, it invites separation. And it's like leaving the complementary energy, which is actually Leo, in front of him, in front of Aquarius. And then there is this other timeline that actually integrates technology and is lived in the earth and explores the potential of the organic technologies. There's surely many other timelines that I am unable to see or to envision at the moment in expressions that we will be co-creating and discovering. But what I want to address, because there's been a lot of talk, and I'm sure you've heard a lot about the discoveries and the science and the AI with Pluto in Aquarius. I think a very important aspect of navigating this new energy is discernment, and how discernment is to be experienced in our hearts, in this inherent wisdom that we possess, which is just part of our nature because we are nature. And I've said this many times, there aren't any teachers outside anymore. The era of the gurus is ending. The teacher, the guru, the master, the maestro, it's you. So the choice is yours as well. So for me, one of the layers of Pluto in Aquarius is precisely the healing of this perceived otherness as something that is separate and even threatening to us, and the opportunity of true inclusion of diversity by healing this perceived separateness, this wound of separation as this primary wound that keeps us against each other or on one or another side. No, I think this is a chance to actually allow the coexistence of everything and everyone in total acceptance of that otherness as part of unity. That's one of the beauties. The beautiful things of Aquarian energy is the celebration of individual expression as something that adds to the collective pattern, to the collective, what's the word I'm looking for? To the collective energy and for the good of all. So this is a new time. I think there's going to be a lot of galactic, cosmic information. Astrology itself will have to enter new terrains of exploration. And we will hear, in terms of this part of the galactic and cosmic new information arriving, both the narrative of fear and the narrative of hope. Again, we will have to discern and find resonance in our hearts to know what we're going to choose, where we are going to choose to align ourselves with. So I think more than ever, mind and heart need to be in a coherent alignment so we can actually go through this with beauty and learning as we go what Pluto wants to show us. Because, you know, the way in which Pluto works usually is he brings forward the toxicity or the poison of the school he's exploring. So he's going to show us the shadow side of Aquarius. This is like the spiritual bypass, creating a cartoon really of spirituality through virtual reality, the false, the falseness in the utopias that we were living in, the disillusionment of the new age dream as well. So we can actually truly fall into the truth of the state of the world and the state of humanity and have the clarity that we are at a tipping point, a tipping point to choose to do things differently or to keep walking this path of destructiveness in which we are, not only destroying ourselves, but so much life in the planet. So I don't think we are going to end life in the planet. I think that's not possible. And that's very, it's part of the pride of humanity. And this is also a shadow side of Aquarius, because life does not depend on us, but our life as humanity does depend on our choices, on our next moves. And that's the point of the Aquarian energy. It's a possibility of doing things differently. So re-evolution, no? Breaking the pattern, that's Urano energy, and responsibility and commitment to life, and that's Saturn energy. So even though there's differences and individual experiences, we are all connected. We know this, no? We are part of a wholeness, a unity, and anchoring this connection with a true sense of authenticity within community, actually a true sense of community. That's the dream and the possibility lying ahead with Pluto in Aquarius energy. This is the evolution of thought as well. In a spiritual sense, Pluto in Aquarius is about evolving our thought processes to be more aligned with the divine intelligence, the intelligence of creation. And in that frequency, there is inclusion. There is we can transcend division and promote a wider, even more objective existence. Pluto will break old structures and dynamics. So it's a purification, you see, that will reveal where we have been giving our power away, or where power is being wielded in a corrupt way, so we can eventually re-empower ourselves creatively This is, yet it is the power to the people energy, but this will be a process where we decentralize power and we experience power as an expression of love and as an expression of truth and as an expression of life. Pluto in Aquarius will probably activate like latent, I don't know if that's a word, but like the potentials within our DNA. And you know, all of these working with frequency, with vibration, with sound, the power of the electromagnetic fields, these are all ancestral technologies that will be remembered and also will be re-evolutioned, perhaps. No, it's really about, to me, the need of authentic individuals that will add to the power of strengthening communities. And there will be new relational paradigms as well, new agreements, new ways in which we relate that will obviously, through the Aquarian energy, speak to diversity, to freedom, to detachment in a healthy way, and will be challenging traditions and social conditioning, of course. This is the beginning. It's exciting. It's a bit, there's a lot of uncertainty in this energy because what's new is new. And by this, I mean, even if we go to the references of what happened before when Pluto was last in Aquarius, and he wasn't discovered yet, and yet it is the time of the French Revolution and then the American Revolution, and you know, there is this very similar weather, I suppose, or climate. In truth, this is an energy about doing things new and different. So we can get valuable information from looking into the past, but the actual invitation is to innovate. It's actually to create. That's therefore the extreme significance and importance of awakening, of remembering our power, and of retrieving our creative sovereignty. Anyway, family, I just wanted to make a quick comment on Pluto in Aquarius. We have now entered Sagittarius season since the 21st of November. Mercury is going to have a retrograde here. It's starting on the 25th of November, and we're having a new moon here in Sagittarius as well on the 30th of November or the 1st of December, depends on where you are. And we will have a chance to, for me, renovate the altar of hope inside of us, in our own hearts. So we'll be talking about in our next Tao Encant. Oh my God, I'm telling you, I still have like, my brain is so slow. Thank you for listening. We'll talk about that in our next encounter. Blessings.